All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Cabin Nelly. Da-da-da-da. Because we still don't have an intro song or
Coming soon.
theme music.
Coming soon.
Yeah, we still got to, we might have it come season 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we have time to ponder on it and whatnot. But as far as right now, I'll be doing it theatrics.
So, introduce.
Oh yeah, my name is Deja McClendon, aka Day McClay. Inserts Instagram handle and TikTok, of course.
And I'm Chris. Christopher Andre.
Otherwise known as Sea Dog. And then what's your line name?
Orpheus, the
Orpheus.
perseverance soldier.
Period.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So today is episode 5. We're going to be talking about changes and new journeys. Both of us have been, both of us in some way has started a new journey and has changed. And we're also going to recap our trip back home to St. Louis. So this is our first time going back home. We didn't go together. We went separate, solo. I just went for a weekend. She went for 2 weeks. And we're both going to, just recap what's going on. And, going to answer a couple of questions, stuff like that. So It's going to be good. Going to be great conversation as always. And good stories being told. So first, let's go ahead and talk about it. My
the
big top.
Room, yes.
The
His
big top. Yes, I cut my locks off. Back to low cut Chris.
AKA Wave Daddy.
AKA
Wave God.
Wave God, Tsunami, all that. Yeah, when I did it, it was a surprise to a lot of people.
Yeah,
because I didn't really talk about it to nobody, really, or was telling people I was thinking about cutting it off. When I started my locks, I was very happy and was very glad that I made the decision to start doing it, because I didn't start off doing locks at first. I had long hair, and I was braiding into the back or doing like ponytails or like 2-strand twists.
Well, let's be specific. I was doing the braiding. Yeah. I was doing the twist, the braiding, all that.
Yeah, so she was mostly doing my hair and stuff like that. Then I started growing it out after I crossed and stuff like that, and I figured I never grew my hair out before.
Never seen what he looks like with hair, but he knew that he would look good, which he did. And I loved his hair. I love, like, obviously pulling on it or playing in it. And, I was the first one who I really grew his hair out. Like, his loctician, like, she maintained his locks and got them to lock and whatnot, but I started his hair. Like, I'm the one who was oiling and massaging that bald head of his, and I started his locks. Really, I started them at first because I started doing a little twist when his hair was like still super loose, and then all the different braided and twisty hairstyles you saw, that was me. Besides, like, maybe 2 different people who braided his hair when I didn't want to.
Yeah. So the reason I cut it off was because when I started my locks, I knew at some point I was cutting them off. At some point in time in my life, I knew I wasn't gonna have them all the way down to my butt, down to my legs. I just knew I didn't want to do that. Too heavy and just too much, too long, and all that shit. So I knew in the back of my head when I first got them that at some point I was gonna cut them off. I told myself I was gonna wait till it got to like the middle part of my back, and then I would be like, yeah, I think it's about done.
Or he also said he was gonna cut them off when we had our first kid. So he told me that. So I'm not gonna lie, I am still a little hurt that you just randomly wanted to cut your hair off, because we had a plan. He was gonna cut them off when we had our first child, because obviously, kids grab shit, and something about kids' strength, they might be able to yank one of them locks out his head. So he was gonna cut it off then. But yeah, after a weekend spent at home, he decided to do a complete 360, 180, whatever you want to call it. He cut off his locks. He went and got his ears pierced.
But I mean, that I did that because she kept talking about, well, I guess you don't want to get your ears back pierced. So I was supposed to have my ears pierced. I just figured, since I really didn't want to, I really just didn't really care to do it that much enough to go and get them done. I figure I might as well, since I got, doing this, I might as well just go ahead and do that too. So it was just one of those things. I figure I'll just get it out the way. Snowball effect. Like, if one thing is happening, might as well get the rest of it done. Yeah. So, my trip back home really had nothing to do with me deciding to cut my locks off. It was just happened to be after I came back. But what really got me going is because down here in Texas, it's hot, it's humid, and my locks were like
touching his back and
shoulder blade length. They were past my neck, so they would always just be on my neck. It just started getting heavy. Every time I eat, my stuff will like come over. So it's just like little stuff like that.
And you know what type of eating he talking about?
Well,
both
types of eatings. Both types of eatings. And it's just at a certain point, man, you just get tired of having to put them up in a ponytail and stuff like that. And I just felt like that part, that hair, like the hair. Let me see how I'm gonna explain this because I'm finna get deep. So I feel like the Chris that had hair, long hair, and was growing it out is different from the stage of Chris I'm walking into or about to go into. So I just felt like it's kind of like a transformation or a growth part, like just part of the journey of growing. So I just see myself as low cut right now, and I like it. And the good thing about it is I don't regret it. So I don't regret getting my locks. When I got it, I thought it was the greatest thing to do, which I'm proud of and happy about. And when I cut them off, I thought it was like the best thing to do for me. And I really don't miss them. To be honest, I still got them in my closet just in case later on down the line I just be like, maybe I want to reattach them or something like that. But I don't know if I see myself.
Yeah, I don't see him doing that, to be honest. It would just be a nice, good memento and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know how y'all feel about this, but maybe if his kids grow up to want locks or whatever, our boys, because I feel like we're gonna have mostly boys, to be honest. Then if they don't want to start off in the ugly stage, then they can use their dad locks.
I was just thinking about this because I was thinking I just hope we don't get all girls.
We're not gonna get all girls.
Yeah.
But from the looks of your family, it does look like y'all mainly just create boys because it's nothing but boys in y'all. Like his whole side of his family, his dad's side is men. Mm-hmm. Like
Andrews make boys. That's what my grandma says.
So I feel like that's true. Now my end, it's mostly girl, it's mostly women and boys, but yeah, no, I think it's gonna tailor after Chris and stuff, which I want to happen because we do have a lot of girls in my family, so we need to balance it out. We need more men.
And I'm saying I don't want a girl. I just say
not the first one.
Being around my baby, my little sister, my mama, and all that, and just being around women the majority of my life is just
because he said that it's a job.
It ain't kinda is a mental job.
Yeah,
a psychological job because it can get a lot sometimes, and sometimes it just be like, man, y'all doing too much, and then other times just be like,
it don't really be me. Yeah,
it be not her all the time.
No,
it be a mixture of all of them.
Once I get that initial emotion out or experience whatever new situation I have to experience, then from there I can handle it myself and manage my own emotions. But a lot of times, like if it's a new situation or just something new happening to me, sometimes I don't know how to react. And so like I'm just more hysterical and emotional and stuff. And that's where he has to kind of be him and be cool, calm, and collected. But yeah.
But yeah, what I was gonna ask was because you did say you wanted a girl. You did say you wanted a girl. Like say our first two. Because you said we only wanted two.
Yeah.
The first two are boys. Are you going to want to try the third?
Wrap up. No.
Okay. I was just thinking about the other day. If it was a second, would you want to try a third just to see if it'll turn out to be a girl?
Hell no. 3 is too many.
I feel the same way. If it just so happens 2 girls pop out, it just it is what it is. At that point,
let's hope that don't happen because I don't even want. I don't care what I get, but it would be best if the family had boys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So I was thinking about back to
the topic at hand.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about cutting my locks off for about a month or two, a month and a half, 2 months before I did it. So it wasn't like no impulse type of decision. I was already like kind of like, man, it's different. Having locks and being down bad is different than having a low cut and being down bad with how you look. Because I was still growing out my sides my top was grown out like full, so y'all knew what that looked like. But I was still growing out my side. You couldn't really tell because my top was so long, so it covered. But I get 6 weeks into within retwist, and in between those 6 months, like the last 2 weeks, I'd be looking crazy, like
straight homeless man,
and it just make me feel more down bad than I really am. Just how just all that together, and I was like, man, it gets a lot sometimes. So now, I used to come on hair, so now in between cuts, it's only like $50 for a cut now. Each retwist I was paying $140. So even if I went to get my haircut every 2 weeks, which I really don't, it'll still cost less than a retwist. But I used to come on hair, so in between cuts I can trim myself up, line myself up. So my down bad is really not down bad. I'm just, just shaping myself back up. So it just is cheaper, which I'm not cheap, but we're working on monthly expenses that we can control and minimize as much as we can, and because we working on stuff, saving and stuff like that, got stuff going on. So that's just another thing. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons, and I was thinking financially too, like because I was paying $70 for a retwist in St. Louis, and it doubled here. I mean, it wasn't a problem, but I was just like, man, I could save $90. I just have a low cut and get my waves back and just do what I'm doing. And my baby, she was supportive. I told her, did I tell you when I got off the plane? Like
literally, he told me as soon as he got in the damn apartment what he was doing. And I'm like, wait, what? And I'm sitting here at work, and of course, like I'm gonna support whatever he wants to do and stuff like that. But I needed to be the first one to cut off a lot, not this damn barber that he was going to. So I did take a little break, like a comfort break and stuff like that at work, and just to get the camera set up and actually record me cutting them off, and then I went back on the phones and stuff because I knew that he was already going to be gone when I took my lunch. So yeah, we had to do that, a little moment for myself and for memory purposes and stuff. And
yeah, that was the same day. I flew in that morning like 5:00. So I got here at 5:00. And then that same day at 1 p.m., like she said, that's when I went to cut them off. Because when I make a decision in my head, like mentally, physically, and all that, and I come to the conclusion, like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, it's really hard for me not to try to do it, or like, it's really hard for me to sway and try to.
One thing about us is we act on what we are thinking and stuff. We don't.
And I was going to wait a couple of days to do it, but then I saw he had an open slot. The barber because I was looking at barbers on TikTok and Instagram trying to see who I was going to go to, because I ain't never been to a barber other than my original barber and my pops. And after that, I cut my own hair. So I was like, man, I got to really, pick right. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, he had an open slot at 1. She was like, you might as well just go ahead and do it today and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, you're right. So I did it. And I'm rock the low cut for a while and see how that goes.
I don't think he's going to grow his hair out to like curly or nothing like that. And, a little curly top, like an inch or something. Like, he ain't going to do that. But I do love, wave daddy, wave bae and stuff. Because this is how I met him. I met him with the waves and the low cut and stuff. So this is nothing new. I met him with the earrings. So it's like he just looks different now compared to when we was in college and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy that a lot of people first introduction to me was with long hair, so they never knew I had short hair. And I'd be like, dang, like I had short hair all my life. This is my first time really having long hair these past 6 years, so that's crazy. So yeah, just doing that, keeping eyebrows, probably get my nose ring back soon. Maybe, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really too pressed about that. So enough about my hair. Let's talk about my baby. She is going on a new journey in her life.
Yeah.
And she's really excited, so I'm gonna let her talk about that.
Yeah, so I always knew that I wanted to like be in the beauty industry of some sort, as a career and stuff, but I decided that college was my thing and I was going to be some sort of a doctor or just in the medical field or whatever, and I feel like that was like kind of a second option or whatever. But now that I don't want to go that route anymore, I feel like it was best for me to just actually go all in the beauty industry. So I'm really good at brows. Like that's always been like my thing when it came to beauty and makeup and stuff. Even in college, like all the niggas would basically tell me how good my makeup looked, and they would just focus on my brows because they was it basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to invest in a microblading class for $3,000. I feel like that was pretty inexpensive for what I was seeing online, actually. And it was in person. I actually ended up going with this person who's pretty well known out here for brows. He's like really, really good. His name is Ashton Aesthetics. He actually did my brows, and I love them. And so I definitely wanted to be taught by somebody who whose work I love and stuff. It was 4 days in class, and then on the last day, you actually got to do a model. So I did do a model with him, and it was a really good experience. When I actually went home for my 2 weeks, me going home for the 2 weeks was for me to get clients and get models. So I can build my portfolio up. Because the only portfolio I had was that one client that I did with my teacher, but I didn't want to just have that. I want to actually do it on my own. So I think that experience went pretty well, to be honest, because everybody brows looked decent when they left. Like no one looked jacked up, like completely fucked up. Like I would say,
hope not. Shit.
No, I wouldn't even be talking about it if that was something that happened or whatever. I was pretty satisfied with just about everybody that I had did. Of course, it was better towards the end as opposed to the beginning and stuff. So the last 2 people I did were the best as opposed to the first 2. But overall, I think I did a great job. I'm really excited about like this journey that I'm stepping into. I wouldn't even say that I'm nervous. I'm not nervous at all, which is actually crazy. I think I got a little nervous on the way to the plane just because it was like settling in, like it was real. Like I was actually going home to microblade people's brows, give them temporary tattoos and stuff. So I would say it is a learning curve to do something like this just because it is permanent, and you got to keep that in the back of your mind. So you do have to be precise as much as possible. There are some things that I still need to work on. Obviously, I just got started. I've only been doing it since February and stuff. So I am going back to class. I don't have to pay again. The guy who I actually took the class with, he said I can come back whenever. I just got to let him know so I can always look at people who are new and not people who are getting touch-ups and stuff. So yeah.
Our slots were getting filled up quick for back in St. Louis.
Oh yeah. When I
get the opportunities, how many slots you had?
So I had 12 slots, but I ended up reducing 12 slots to 10, and I ended up taking 8 people. But the slots filled up really, really, really fast. The 2 extra slots was because one of the people, she was my coworker. She is my coworker, and she has kids, and so she couldn't get away from her kids and stuff. And then the other client had cancer, and she was literally in the middle of getting her chemo and stuff like that. And I honestly forgot about her, like in this moment doing chemo. So I had to cancel her because I didn't want to risk her health. I didn't want to risk her life just so she can have brows, because she can easily draw them on.
She can't have that shit in the MRI, right?
It's not metal. Like if you only can't go through an MRI or like a scanner.
Tattoos you can have.
No, it's tattoos with ink. So if someone was to go to jail and they got tattoos in jail, then that's when it would pose as a problem, because a lot of times the ink that they're using in jail has metal in it. This doesn't have metal in it because it's professional grade, or yeah. So yep.
And I also want to say that she's been having a lot of support with the person that she went to class with before, and her last take and stuff like that. She's been really good. So whoever she is, what's her name?
Caroline,
I appreciate you because you've been helping my baby out.
For her. So,
and just keep hitting her back up with opportunities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what's up.
So that's also what made this whole transition into this new journey easier, because like everything fell into place exactly how it was supposed to. Like I didn't have to force anything. Like I was able to get off work to do this. Like that came easy. I was able to get into the class. Like that was easy as well. Granted, I did have to like hit him up a few times because he is booked and busy. Like, come on now. But I had the money, so I paid it easy. Really, everything just went smooth. And then on top of that, when I went home, the models just came. You know what I'm saying? So literally from start to now, everything has came easy to me, as well as me asking for extra help. So I am going back to class on the 11th for a day for 2 models. I'm going to take off work for that, of course, and then I'm going to come back and like obviously help them out because I don't want to leave them too long or whatever. So yeah, it's just in this season of me trying to transition into something bigger and better. It has been a very smooth ride, and I'm really, really grateful for Ashton. Well, his real name is Chris. Crazy. His name is Chris, but I'm really thankful for Ashton Aesthetics and my lash tech, Caroline Lena Essence. I've posted her a couple times on my Instagram and whatnot because she is a sweetheart. She is like literally such a beautiful person inside and out, and she has a new studio now and has asked me if I want to basically rent a booth there whenever I start taking clients and stuff. Now I'm not taking clients for pay right now. I do want to wait until I get 20 models, which I've only had 8, so I'm almost halfway there. So yeah, I have a few people in my DMs now that I still have to schedule out and stuff, but I wanted to wait until after I go back to class just so I can give them the best like results possible and stuff. Because I'm very particular, and one thing I have to work on is not being good at something first. I'm not used to that. I'm used to always excelling.
She just thinks she's supposed to be perfect the first time, the second time.
Because I mean, when I was in high school,
it don't work like
that. It don't. But when I was in but you can't. It's hard to tell somebody or for somebody to experience failure or not being the best at something when they've been the best at everything their entire life. Like when it came to sports and I was good at school, like everything just came. I didn't really have to work that hard for a lot of things, to be honest. Besides when I went to college, now that was hard. But yeah, I'm very excited about this journey. I'm happy and was super satisfied with all my clients that I did or the models. And that practice did pay off because, like I said, from the first person to the last person, like everything went very well.
So my baby, she be practicing and stuff like that in our office that we have. And stuff like that.
This is my first model. He let me. Well, I didn't actually microblade him, but he let me do the mapping on him and get my stance and the table set up. Which we're gonna have to practice mapping again because I just need to figure out different ways, better ways, and stuff like that.
Yeah, support ain't always just words, niggas.
Man, yeah, get in the field. Help your girl out.
Yeah, help her out. If she needs me to stand there and do a little for her to do good, that's what I'm gonna do. Just so she don't be out here, you know what I'm saying, with no practice or anything. Do you feel like that all that practice stuff that you did here at home before you actually worked on people and your clients, you feel like that helped a lot?
It did because it wasn't like a huge shock when I was like maneuvering around people. Like granted, I did still have to figure out like what was it better for me to stand on the side of the brow that I'm doing or to be, across, or if I was, then I realized that it's better for me to be on the side. Like it's better for me to be right above your head when I'm doing the right brow and then move over to the right side when I'm doing that brow. Now I haven't figured out the left side quite yet. I do have to figure out the maneuver of that, like if it's better for me to be across or on that side. So far, it is a little difficult for me to be on the left side doing the left brow. So I would say like that practice did help because I was pretty decent at the mapping. I was pretty decent at shaving down and, yeah.
That's good. That's good. So overall, everything went well and stuff like that for you.
Yeah.
You were playing music and stuff, right?
Or yeah, it wasn't. We was chit chatting because a lot of the people, I would say half of the people that I did, they were my actual friends. So we literally talked. Some of them fell asleep because it didn't hurt that bad for them, and I couldn't have fell asleep my first time. Hell no. It was a kudos.
That was her first time.
Yeah, that was it. So when I got mine done, I could not fall asleep. Like hell no, I couldn't do that. It hurt. So
that's what's up because the vibes got to be right. I just couldn't imagine you doing all that stuff in silence with no music.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely for the people that I didn't really know that well, I definitely talked and got them more comfortable, and I played the music and stuff. Played old jams, R&B, of this century and stuff like that. So yeah, But overall, it was a great experience. I'm so happy that I'm get to continue this. And when I am taking clients for pay, which will more than likely start at like $150, obviously it's gonna start at the low end. Um, I will be hitting up my lash tech and using her studio for that, and will obviously pay her her worth for me to even be there because I don't want to do it out of here. I want to keep business and home separate and be as professional as possible.
Motherfuckers running in my damn apartment, our damn apartment.
Yeah. So
but,
yeah.
You know about
and before we move on to the next thing, I just gotta say, like, Chris is such an amazing boyfriend. He's so fucking supportive because yes, he's helped. He's let me practice on him with this microblade and stuff, but he's also let me practice on him in other ways as well when it comes down to the beauty stuff. I won't even talk about that because I know he don't want me to bring it up. He was in college. Yeah. So he's really supportive, and like he said, niggas, that is how you support. Get in the field. Let your girl work on you. If she wanna be a nail tech, let her do your nails. You ain't gotta keep them on. Just let her practice on a real person. But yeah, we can move on.
You know what I'm saying? I believe actions. You know, people, like I said, always say people gonna show you who they are before they tell you who they are. And you know, just trust people's actions over the words. Words sound good, but actions look better.
Yeah, it does look better.
And I just think now with her microblading, her stuff that she got going on, and with my financial stuff going on with cutting down expenses, getting our financial advisor and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's one thing we both did. So my mom, the one who introduced me to him, we'll have him on the podcast at some point to talk about financial literacy and within the Black community and stuff like that. But I am proud to say we have a financial advisor because we can talk to him about investments. He can make investments for us. We can open up other accounts, you know, Roth IRAs. I think you got a Roth IRA, right?
Yeah, but that's you know what I'm saying. You know,
my bad.
No, it's cool, but you know what I'm saying.
This ain't that episode.
This ain't that episode. Or you know, we'll talk about all the other stuff another time. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that we're doing that I feel like, because we talked about our 12-week goals the other day. We're not going to talk about that now, but you know, we refreshed our 12-week goals moving forward for our next quarter of the year, and I feel like right now, where we're at, we set ourselves up really good for us to be able to achieve what we wanted, but we just got to push our foot on the pedal. So I think both of us are in a good spot. We set ourselves up. We did everything. We did the right things to build up to where we are now, to where we could just, you know, push and move. So moving on.
And before we move on, I do, just because I want y'all to be able to interact as well in the comment section down below, like where we post this and stuff. You know, what changes have y'all made physically or mentally, or career-wise within your life? Yeah, let's just stick to physically and career-wise. Like, what steps have you guys made to get, you know, move into a different direction and stuff like that? Or what physical changes have you made that make you just feel better about yourself and stuff? Yeah, leave that down below.
I know we're gonna get the tattoos. I'm finna get the rest to finish off my sleeve, and then we're gonna get one.
Yeah.
Get one right here on our neck, and I'll probably get another neck tattoo, to be honest, on the other side. But yeah, that's the physical that we're gonna be changing and stuff like that, just to give you a little example.
Yeah.
But moving on, we're gonna talk a little bit more in depth about our trip back home, because this is our first time being back in St. Louis since we moved in Houston, and we moved in August, and it was May that we went back, so that was like 7 months. So we've been in Houston for 7 months, and then going back. And about my experience personally, I had a great time. It was much needed, and I felt like that's exactly where I was supposed to be at that moment in time, just because I had, the whole time I was there, I was just spending a lot of time with family and friends, you know, and just being back in the neighborhood, driving around and stuff like that, getting that energy, you know, being back in the city, getting that energy, that familiar energy that, you know, you grow up in, stuff like that, you know, driving around, just going to different spots and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt good to be back home. Now I talked about this a little bit with some people who asked me about my trip back, and I said that it was beautiful and it was nice, but it also was just a little different because they start tearing down a lot of homes and stuff like that in our neighborhood, and start building like Costco's and First Watches and stuff like that, Chipotle's, like
Sick.
yeah, in like where those like local
In U City,
businesses
right?
and yeah, where those local businesses and houses were and stuff like that, they're no longer there. So those people that were there that that you used to like driving around, seeing and growing, like stuff like that, and like getting to know them, they're not there no more, and that was a big difference. That was a big change. So it kind of didn't feel like back home a little bit, but it still did. But I mean, the whole thing about the gentrification thing is it's a double-edged sword. I feel like because you have those people who lose their homes and stuff like that. You don't have you like kind of like dividing the community,
Mm-hmm.
but you're also, I mean, you're making the neighborhood look nicer. I mean, it does look nicer. Uh,
It
Stuff
does
like
just
that.
suck that it has to look nicer at the cost of other
Yeah,
people's
you know what I'm
like
saying. It's just
homes and childhood homes and stuff.
yeah, it's grandparents, it's aunties, it's all people who've been there for hell is like 20 plus years who they just get people in the check and tell them, yeah, you're gonna have to find somewhere else and you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have to move.
I
And you
think,
ain't got
I
nothing to do
mean,
about that.
playing devil's advocate, I'm it's nice that they did at least get some type of money for their house
Mm-hmm.
because they could have just not got shit and it would have got torn down. Granted, that's illegal; they couldn't have did that. They had to pay them, but yeah, I'm glad they could have gotten. So I just hope that they got their worth, like of the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just felt like it was a little unfamiliar but familiar. But I knew it was gonna be a good trip right off the bat. Right when I got off the plane, my brother picked me up from the airport, drove to my grandma's crib. It was chilling with my grandparents all morning. My grandma, she made me breakfast and stuff like that, like she used to do back in the day.
So
Uh,
where'd you go that was like special, or any place that you revisited and stuff?
oh,
Or did you go, or did you revisit in like any special places when you went home?
I just went around to like the parks and stuff in my neighborhood, driving around. Went to a couple corners and stuff like that. Just like places that I used to hang out and like drive around when I was younger and stuff like that. For show the loop, for show um
I can't wait.
the Chinese shit.
Chinaman spot?
Chinaman spot. Yeah, hell, damn, I couldn't think of it for a second. Um yeah, I went to the Chinese spot. Uh got the special fried rice, no onions.
Mm.
Order fried chicken,
I'm
chicken
mad. That's the only
wings
thing I did not
on the
get when I went
side.
home.
Took my grandma out to breakfast one morning. Went to my great grandparents' house.
And got put to work.
Got put to work. Every time I go there, I'm doing something. So I already knew that what was gonna happen. She had me sawing up wood, boarding fences up and stuff like that in the backyard. So I was doing all type. Well, I mean, they're really old. They're in their 90s, but they have their own property, so they lease out apartments and stuff like that in the hood. So I be helping them out with like maintenance and stuff like that sometimes whenever I can. So when I went over there, I'd help them out, and they really needed it. So that's why I'm saying like a lot of those things um,
He had
was
yeah,
important for me
yeah.
to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I wasn't there to do it, it would have took a long time, and then they probably would have paid someone to do it and had to spend a lot of money. And being with my grandparents and my grandma, being able to just pay for her, like pay for her food, put gas in her car and stuff like that. Just little things like that I like really care about. And I know that they appreciate it and stuff like that. Help cleaning up a little bit, whatever they need to get done. I can just help because I got fresh legs. So I could just do whatever they were gonna do like real quick. So just helping them out. And being with my brother and just talking to him, having conversation with him, man, just you never know how much a person really just needs, to talk, have someone they feel like they can talk to and just let everything out.
So would you say that's what you miss most about being from would you say that's what you miss most from being in Houston so long, the closeness, the proximity that you had with your family and being there for them, being able to like just be there?
Yeah, I would say so a little bit. But I really don't think I miss my family, but I'm like really I'm happy being down here. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I do miss that, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I miss it. I miss it.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? It's not like I can't just go back and do that whenever I can now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And being with my homie, man, my day one,
Mm-hmm.
Omar, stuff like that, going to his new house. He got a new house, stuff like that. So we was there chilling, just congratulating about that. Seeing my cousin, Dominic, he got a new house too, man. It's crazy. All these people that I
Big
grew up with,
changes.
everyone getting houses and stuff like that. And I'm just proud of them. And we went to my uncle's birthday party. Got free drinks, free food. Food was hella good. We was watching the game, stuff like that. Just love, man. Just love when I got back. And you want to feel like that every time you go home, man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like home is supposed to be like that whenever you're going somewhere and you come back.
Yeah.
So I was just real happy, filled with joy and stuff like that. And a really big thing, or another thing is that, my homie even talking about, you know what I'm saying, maybe possibly having kids in the near future and stuff like that. So he was like, if that were ever to happen, he would want me to be, blessing as his kid's godfather. So
That's
that
a
was
huge
that was that was a heavy moment, man. That was
you do know that means that you would basically be the guardian of the kid
yeah.
if something
So
happened.
if anything happens to him, man, I got him. And he said the same thing for mine. If when we have kids and if anything were to happen to mine, he gonna make sure they good for sure. Nothing ever's gonna happen. So we both made that promise to each other, and that was just a big thing, man. I really do appreciate that. And
I feel it.
what about yours, babe?
So, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous on one of my flights because it was just shaking a little too much. But I've learned how to manage my anxiety a little bit more, and I have my iPad, which there's this game on there, and I'll show y'all like a screen recording of the actual game. It was not a game; it's just coloring. You're tapping the numbers that is correlated to the color, and yeah, you can literally just use up so much time doing that. So I pretty much did that majority of both my flights. It was a good way for me to take my mind off of the flight and calm my anxiety. But once I actually got home, it was nice to be at home because I never realized. Well, I guess as an adult, I realized how much I didn't spend time with my mom's side of her family. So my grandma and my two uncles on her side. So when my mom was gone for her trip, I stayed with my uncle for like 4 days, and that was really nice to be with him because he has his own house.
Yeah.
And we were watching anime, having real deep conversations just about life, relationships, marriage, my childhood, his childhood. We even talked about my papa Malik, and just talked about like basically why we are the way we are now, as far as like being really lovers of cartoons, because that's what he liked to watch. That was our quality time with him, was watching cartoons. And yeah, it was just really nice to spend that time with him, to be honest. And I am upset that I couldn't spend more time with my grandma and my other uncle that lives with her. But I know next time I go home, I will stay with her for a few days and have that quality time and stuff.
You talking about your grandma Cheryl?
Yeah, Grandma Cheryl. This time I did not see my grandma Sonia too much. I did spend that time with her, quality time, don't get me wrong, and we did get a chance to go over her will and testament and whatnot, just because she needs somebody to read that legal jargon with, and so everyone is clear. Well, the people who need to know is clear what everything says and means. What was I gonna say?
And what was I was about to say something too. One thing I noticed about her family, and it's not a bad thing or anything like that. One thing I noticed is that they know how to talk.
Man,
now they can have some conversation with you if you want to. Now,
yeah, you're gonna have a good conversation.
You're gonna talk about everything.
Yeah, and a lot of us, I feel like my entire family has ADHD to some extent, because the way we just bounce off of like comments and go to the next topic, like we could say over and over and over again, for a span of 30 minutes. Like, all right, we about to head out. And then we just get roped up to another conversation. And like, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you are ready to leave. Mm-hmm. But I do love that we can have those like weird, deep conversations. Because I remember during COVID, well, let me not even say that. I remember during the pandemic, we was able to have conversations on both ends of the spectrum. The people who thought that COVID was real, and the people who thought that COVID was man-made, and the people who were pro, the shot, and people who wasn't. So it was really interesting. Talk about that. So yeah.
What was it that you was gonna tell me?
Hold on, I'm getting there. It was also so like really nice to be around my friends and stuff too, just because I haven't been around them for a long time. And then I just got back cool with one of my really close friends. We were friends for 10 plus years before we had a falling out. We fell out for like, I want to say a good year and a half, 2 years, but we came back together, and it feels like nothing ever happened, to be honest. Like, of course we talked about the situation, and we, let's just say everything's all good now. And I love her and I miss her, and I'm so glad that we're back at this moment. So I did stay in my mom's office a little bit while she was gone, but I mostly was with my uncle and at her house because she has a house of her own as well. And my other best friend, Deanna, stays there. So it's Monica and Deanna, and they live together, and I stayed at their house for a lot of it. I would say one of the highlights of that trip with my friends was Deanna actually going out and not telling us who she was going out with. And if somebody omits the gender and omits the name, you already know they trying to be sneaky. And we was
I'm
like,
going out with a friend.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, Lily was like, we're like, where you?
I'm meeting somebody.
Yeah, we talking about. We was like, where you going? Because Deanna be outside. She always going somewhere with somebody. And she was like, oh, I'm going out with a friend. Girl, when the hell you ever told us a friend, like just a friend?
She probably ain't want to. She ain't
want to say nothing because she know why. But he's all good. But
always one of those type of things.
So, but they're just friends. Don't get me wrong. So, like, me and Monica went to go get some food. We went to the Foundry. The Foundry is this new place that's in St. Louis now, and I really like that they built it and stuff. It adds to the community. We went and got some Jamaican food from there, and we knew that Deanna was going to VR. That's the one thing that she told us she was doing. So we like, okay, we know VR is here at the Foundry. So I had it in my head, I was like, dang. We've been here for a minute. Her? No, we was never going to the Foundry to get food. We actually were going to this Indian spot, but they were closed. Like they literally shut down. And so we wanted some good, like just different and authentic food. So we opted for the Foundry. We honestly left our mind that she was going to the Foundry for VR. So after we got the food, we was like, oh shit, Deanna is on her way here for her get together or outing with her friend and stuff. Let's see if that bitch has left yet. And so Monica had her location, saw that she was there. Bruh, we literally snuck up on her. I have the recording too, and I'll give it to Chris so he can put it in the video so y'all can see it on YouTube and stuff like that. Be over here spying on Deanna. We're gonna try to see if we can see her. Yep. Bitch. Caught your ass. How? Because the food place is closed, so we have to come here and get food. Yep. Hi. How you doing? I'm doing good. I tell you, it was so funny to like see her face, see her, see us, see what she was doing and who she was with, because it was a reason why her ass told us
she was trying to be low key.
Just a friend. Literally was trying to be low key.
She was just trying to be low key.
You ain't gotta be like that with your friends. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. But yes, it was hilarious. I'm gonna show Chris the video when we get off this, and then he gonna post it in the actual pockets for y'all to see. But that was like the highlight, because to be honest, my friend group is very, very funny. Like I really wish we had cameras rolling all the time just so we can capture all these like great moments that we have in one another, because it's just hilarious. But I missed the most. What I missed the most about being home was like obviously the closeness with my friends and family, like just being able to go down the street and see everybody. But also like it's too much traffic out here.
Oh yeah, no traffic,
bruh. It was so nice to just for you to go somewhere and it literally only take you like 20 minutes. Probably less than
Facts.
that, depending on where you was going. Like,
Facts.
that was beautiful. And I went to my favorite like places to eat. I went to Fit Flavors and I got like hella meals while I was there because I didn't want to like eat really, really, really bad food while I was there. Of course, I'm gonna try and eat what I can, just to kind of get that memory back. So I had White Castles, I had emos, and what else did I have? Oh, and Fit Flavors and stuff. But the one thing I didn't get that I didn't remember was freaking oh, and I had fish and chicken. Yeah. But I'm just mad about not getting no Chinaman, so I'm gonna get that next time.
I had Chinaman, original Pancake House. I should have went to Emo's, but I ain't need to for real.
Yeah,
there was food at the crib where I was at.
I didn't get to do original Pancake House either, so I do have a little mini list for when I go back. But yeah, it was just nice to kind of not have any traffic, man. Like, that was really the beauty of everything. But
no lie.
Me not having a place to stay and place where I really felt, not necessarily felt comfortable, because I felt completely comfortable at Monica and my uncle's house, but because my uncle had a whole room for me and stuff. But it was just nice to, it's nice having my own like entire spot out here in Houston. So I still wouldn't give that up. Like, it was nice being in St. Louis, but I came to, remember why I left, obviously, after a while. Because imagine, we all know how it goes. You go off to college, and then you come home for a couple of days, and then you realize why you went off to college. Like, why you had to leave and go a little far for college. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was good to be around my family and friends. I did have dinner with my siblings and stuff, and I got to have like a deep conversation with my sister, just about life and whatnot. That was needed. So overall, I would just say like the trip was well needed, and I'll be back for Christmas. He's not going back for Christmas, but I am going to go back.
Yeah, I'll probably be back before that, and then make a little detour to Chicago afterward. Make a whole little, you know what I'm saying, and just do that. But overall, for me, great trip. Loved it. Nothing but love. I appreciate it, and yeah, can't wait to go back and visit. So, moving on. Last thing we're going to talk about is a segment that we always do. Well, we've done in the past.
Question of the week.
Question of the week. But in this case, a couple questions. Because I have a couple questions where it was on my mind. I was like, man, these would be some good questions to ask.
And make sure y'all answer the questions down below as well. Because we want to know what y'all think. We want to know, just what do y'all have?
So, baby, if you could create a new ice cream flavor, what would it be?
Peach cobbler. Like, if peach cobbler could be an ice cream sickle flavor, like a cream sickle flavor, that would be fire. With little bits and crumblets of the like crusts of some sort, that would be fire.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bring y'all back to when I worked at Steak and Shake, right? I worked at the Shakes. Not every time I get off, but I used to make this chocolate with Oreo and cookie dough mixed in.
Big back in.
I'll do that, but then I'll throw some cheesecake bites in there too.
Dang!
That would be mine.
You was not playing, especially because you could get it for free. So
no, we didn't have. I thought the cheesecake bites is a little extra on there. We didn't have no cheesecake, but I'm saying, so chocolate, Oreo, cookie dough, and throw some cheesecake bites in there too.
Now that's just a lot. That's too damn much.
Fire. It's gonna be good. Promise you. I'm saying it now. Now, if it happens and it creates one, just know where you heard it first. Here. All right. Question number 2. If you could only eat one condiment for the rest of your life, what would it be? So that's ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, ranch, hot sauce.
Okay.
I
got you.
Yeah.
I say ranch.
Ranch?
Yeah. Why you making that face? I already know what you gonna say.
What?
Barbecue.
Yep. Barbecue sauce. I feel like ranch. You gonna put ranch on like your burgers and stuff.
I could dip it in a burger. I mean, I could dip my burger in it. It won't be on it. Like everything, I can eat that on pizzas. I'll be dipping my fries in ranch. Salad. You gonna put barbecue sauce on the salad? Please.
I'm just gonna
eat it rare. Eat it with nothing on it.
Just not eat salads, I guess. But
See?
I see that. But barbecue sauce, I feel like it's so versatile. You can put it on burgers, you can put it on hot dogs. You can. If I had to eat hash browns with barbecue sauce, I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, and yeah, I feel
chicken.
it. Now I wouldn't dip my hash brown in no ranch and stuff. I don't even put ketchup on my hash brown. I just eat potatoes how it is. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think ranch and barbecue sauce are like very universal condiments.
All right. Question number 3. If you're a superhero and you could have the choice of 2 powers, what would they be? And if you had a sidekick, what animal would be your sidekick?
Okay, so I know the powers I would do. So the powers would be time travel, of course. Be able to go back in time. So like a Doctor Strange type of shit. Is that his name?
I don't know. No, Doctor Strange, no, he can do that, but I mean, he's
talking about you don't know.
I thought you were talking about like Doctor Who, but no. Go
ahead. So go back in time and obviously super strength. Like you got to be able to fight.
Okay.
So that's my 2. And then if I was to have a sidekick, like the animal. It. I don't know, to be honest. Like,
we'll let you think about that.
Yeah.
All right. So my 2 choices for powers. I always say Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like
you can't pick Superman as a power.
People say you can't choose Superman as a power, so I guess not. So mine would be fucking
Not you said that cuss word so hard.
Teleportation.
That's a good one.
No limits to my teleportation, too. All right. And invincibility. Can't shit hurt me or nothing like that.
Okay. So those like are my 2. Invincible type invincibility. How invincible he is to an extent.
Yeah, basically. So invincible and teleportation.
Okay.
So I can go anywhere I want in the world and I can't be fucked with.
That's good. That's a good one. So
or no, teleportation and immortal.
You want to be immortal?
Like Skips. Hell yeah, I want to be immortal.
You don't think you would get sad about like seeing people die, like your loved ones die?
I'll just kill myself at that point.
You're immortal. You can't.
Immortality and teleportation.
You would literally have to ask death to take your immortality.
I'm sure me and him make a deal at the right time. But yeah, immortality and teleportation.
So I
like Skips. And my sidekick, I'm riding on a lion.
I think I would do a anaconda. Like a snake.
Like a Voldemort and his nick. I forgot how you pronounce his nickname.
I don't know what his nickname is, but that motherfucker is sneaky. Like it can go through cracks of shit. And anaconda and snakes are actually very strong. Once they got a hold on you, they got you. And an anaconda is a pretty big snake. And they're good at sneaking. Like they don't have to make noise. Like they know how to, you know what I'm saying? So they can probably sneak up and ring around your ass and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like that nigga off a Baby Boy.
You talking about Melvin?
Yeah. The chokehold won't even second. Don't even know what's coming.
Yeah, my sidekick's gonna be a lion. I'm riding on the back of my lion.
At first, I was gonna
be able to teleport and be immortal.
At first, I was gonna say a gorilla but I feel like because I'm already strong, and
you wouldn't need them.
Yeah, I wouldn't need because I'm already strong. So I need something that's gonna create that balance. Something sneaky, still strong, still can kill, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's the episode 5. Talked about everything that we wanted to talk about for this episode, man. We had really good trips, really new journeys, excited about us moving forward and stuff like that. And y'all seeing our changes. And
yeah, I'm gonna have some physical changes too. I just didn't get into it because they're more so outer appearance.
We'll get there.
Stuff. But
once you see it, you're gonna see it on whenever episode. You're gonna see the changes and stuff like that, and you're gonna see the sleeve be done and everything like that. So
I can't wait for episode 6 because we're going to be talking about spiritual psychosis, spirituality, religion, and our views on that and our like own experiences with it. So that's going to be a really, really interesting segment that I want y'all to tune in for. Because if y'all ain't tuned into none of these episodes, that is the one you definitely should tune in for because we're going to get deep into just our experience within our relationship. Because spiritual psychosis definitely happened within our relationship, and we have to navigate that.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's another episode. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.
See y'all next time. Bye.
I gotta show them. Hold on.
Oh, show the waves.
Show the waves. Hold on, let me get.
Ain't gotta show my Rosanna, our mascot.
You said what?
Our mascot.
Our mascot?
Yes.
All right, Rosanna, get the hell out the way.
Okay.
All right. See these? Hold on. Can I see them?
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
Quit playing with me, boy.
And he putting all the moisturizers, conditioners, oils. No. He taking care of his hair this time.
You see it? Man, I always had them waves, boy.
Yeah, you always had the waves, but you never did all the extra stuff that you're doing now.
Come with. Yeah. Peace.